Hello and welcome to AEW.1, the AEW Women's Division blog. My name is Travis. You can hit me up on Twitter at AW_ONE. You can find more of our articles at AEW.1. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It makes us feel too sweet. Alright, let's get into it. We are now 4 years into All Elite Wrestling, and while the company has grown faster than any of us could have anticipated, one thing remains the same since its infancy. On any episode of Dynamite, Rampage, and now Collision, you get one, and only one, women's match per show. Even if that's a Jade Cargill squash match, that's it. I wish I could give Tony Khan a truth serum and ask him whether this was an internal decision or an edict passed down by Warner Bros. Discovery. Regardless of whose decision it was, I don't think either of them realized that women's wrestling will find its way to prominence with or without AEW. Eventually, invariably, inevitably, a woman will be the biggest star in all of pro wrestling. If this hits your ears as bluster or big talk, consider just how niche professional wrestling actually is. The largest wrestling company in the world, WWE, is worth about the same as the Dallas Cowboys. That's just one of 32 NFL teams. A modicum of extra attention relative to the aggregate national stage could double wrestling's popularity. And when you're in an entertainment industry, which pro wrestling most certainly is, when you are exclusively looking for the next big megastar only within the male population, how can the next big thing in your industry not be a woman? Imagine if the music industry took this approach, where 13 of the top 20 recording artists in the world are women. Hell, Taylor Swift will outdraw WrestleMania many times over on any given tour. And even if you want to say that's an unfair comparison because music is so ubiquitous to our society, or because pro wrestlers are seen as athletes first and foremost, well, consider that Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, at the time, had set an all-time UFC record for attendance, or how Serena Williams had smashed various attendance records during her retirement tour. And no, I'm not talking about AEW's roster being 50% women. That's a different discussion altogether. I'm talking about that once-in-a-lifetime megastar who sells out arenas and drives viewership to new heights. Wrestling promoters have turned over every stone looking for another man who can do that. Well, maybe it's time to look at the other half of the world's population. It is to AEW's detriment, even purely from a financial standpoint, that for the past 4 years, they haven't been in a relentless pursuit to win this race. They are perfecting the crossbow while the discovery of gunpowder is right around the corner. So, if I'm optimistic about AEW's women's division, it's more from the standpoint that I'm optimistic that Tony Khan will one day read the tea leaves. That women's wrestling is the single biggest growth opportunity for pro wrestling, and that Tony will resolve to stop at nothing until he discovers tomorrow's number one megastar. Because if he doesn't, someone else will. And you don't get there by giving the women one match per show. Thanks for watching, and as always, make sure the women in your life know how much you appreciate them.